What is going on, guys? It's Gospel Gamer here. We're back on Chaos Child, and after that weird as fuck last episode, we're ready to continue. September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Whew. Oh my god. Momone Takiyanagi, fuck, that's going to be horrible to read multiple times, had finished the concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all that was done she could take a break. There wasn't much time left before her solo street concert, but she still had time to help anyway. She'd always been like that. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school when one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked for her test notes. Fuck me, I can't read any of this, and I don't know why I read that like a robot either. Or in high school, when a girl she knew asked her how to make a Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. She'd stayed up so many nights her own test grades were worse than her friends, and she didn't have even anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna lie, the translation in this game, I've already noticed, this isn't the greatest. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers, but... Basically, I'm just a huge wuss! I'm gonna give her that voice, fuck it. I can't think of a female voice to give her. Momone Takiyanagi was, at heart, scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. The concert today was another big success. Sure, it was a tiny room that could only fit in 150 people or so, standing room only, but tickets were 3,000 yen high for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, but they still sold out instantly. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the ballads, and during one of the high-tempo songs the audience had stood up on the way back to the back row. This is impossible! She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. They started out on the Nikonia, I can never say that, Nikonia Sang It category, and they kept on by doing covers of popular anime songs. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and act like idiots, some people will enjoy that. Videos of their concerts and performances pulled a decent number of views online, but Takiyanagi noticed. The vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try and feel it again. And Takiyanagi knew that they probably wouldn't ever feel 1% of it. It's just impossible! The ticket prices and the audience size were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. There has to be something wrong with my voice. When she first realised that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing the live shows where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let that happen. Your voice is amazing, they would tell her. They forced her to keep singing, even as the concerts began to terrify her. Takiyanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end she kept giving in. She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain, dull girl like her into music. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. But in the end, Takiyanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage needed to break out of the cycle. She forced herself to get up and head towards the street concert where she didn't really want to do. She received an email. She read it slowly. No way. She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. It was nothing special, just a simple message about one of those songs she made. Good song, keep it up. No way. Takiyanagi tried to stop the tears but couldn't. The band would get too many messages like this to count, especially after concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. But this email address wasn't for her band. It was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded original songs. In other words, whoever sent her this message hadn't come to her concerts. They'd never heard her voice live or felt its strange power. But they had still said they liked her song. Really? Wiping away tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. That makes me really happy, thank you. Even after she sent it, she kept crying? She kept crying for a while. She kept crying for a while. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. And then she stood up. Stupid things! She took her costume for the day's concert out of her bag and balled them up, threw them into the trash. It was a white caped outfit worn by some angel character in some anime. Some fans really loved it, but she didn't care about it at all. She took a wet towel off a nearby table and violently wiped away her makeup. I think I'm okay with being a scarecrow. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup that looked like an anime character again. Never, she said aloud. She realised she was more excited than she ever had been. And then she started to realise what she wanted to do. I guess I could just leave Shibuya. I'm sure things are going to get messy here. What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It caused trouble for a lot of people, definitely. Her band was scheduled to play in the Restoration Festival. But even so, she never wanted to sing at another concert. I shouldn't use the streets where I've done shows, or my fans will see me. Wait, I'll be fine with this face. She laughed and kissed her smartphone. Oh wow, this is so much fun. She couldn't wait to get home and start fiddling with her music. Over the web she could really share her music with others. As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. If she just played a recording from a speaker, for example. I've got a small speaker in my house, don't I? That's right. She'd leave Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at a street concert. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes to fool people. It'd be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she'd re-record it at home. Great. Same people again. There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe. Oh jeez, I'm coming! She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd imagined it could be. That lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. Hi! Coming! Taki and Agi happily danced towards the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp and dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Her bangs were unnaturally long, most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark-coloured dress that seemed to melt into the night and above all, a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that the night was still warm, she wore gloves, as if it were a sin to show any skin at all. Oh, sorry. She ran into a couple coming out of a hotel and staggered slightly. But she didn't even look at the people she ran into. She looked down and disappeared into the streets of Shibuya. What was that? Man, talk about creepy. Hey, didn't you see her face? Huh? Why? It was so weird. What was that? Those eyes were so weird. Okay. So, we're now in chapter 1. That's very interesting. So the people after that Momone. ... For example, let's say you ask a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say yes, or have heard of it. We'll start by eliminating the DQNs who say they've never heard of it. Next you ask, well, what was it? Next we eliminate those poor fools who say it's something about a cat in a box, right? Or there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? Or maybe they say there's a cat in a box and next to it there's a device that may or may not give off poison gas. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead till you open the box. Everybody knows that. We can eliminate these show-offs as well. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. The right answer would be to describe the experiment and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that state collapse only occurs after human observation. But barely anyone can do that. And I'd imagine that I'm the only guy who's still in high school who knows that Schrödinger's got the... Oh, hiccups. That Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. I hate wrong-siders. I'd taken a break from investigating the 2 incidents that occurred recently in Shibuya and was paging through some @channel blog aggregators for a change of pace. As always, the articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting tons of hits. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had happened this month, was already off the front pages. Did the people reading and commenting on these sites realise that everything they read about corporations and idols was carefully controlled? Did they know that most of the big aggregator sites are corporations too? Did they realise that the comments were all manipulated to go one direction or another? Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right at your fingertips. To those of us in the enlightened generation, ignorance was the worst sin. The ignorant were self-righteous, easily manipulated and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. Sounds like a certain group of people in the UK. They were nothing but a nuisance. The worst of the lot were so-called otaku. I couldn't stand otaku, they were wrong-siders. Take the picture on the cover of this magazine. It was from Bloodtune. Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. There was no point in watching the show if you were going to ignore its deeper themes. I couldn't stand people who still held the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watched anime, but people who ignored a show's themes, just watched it for the cuteness, were even worse. They were ignoring the implicit social criticism hidden in...
Nani?
What? I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode previews. The text said that Erin was missing. Idiots. Damn it, I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who wrote the original manga. The original author doesn't know anything about his own work. I don't know why I've given him that voice. I need to change the voice. I'll pick a different voice in a second. How could you remove Erin from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant bringing all the internal drama that had been built up for so far to a halt. God damn it. So much from a change of pace. I knew I had work to do on the case, but I put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. I thought for a moment, then took my magazine from its secret stash. It was an issue of an older magazine called Cool Cat Press. God, I love Cool Cat Press. People called it a dating guide for normals written by someone who never dated a girl in his life, but you'd be surprised. Magic words to... I'm going to give this guy my voice. It's going to be easier. Magic words to make any girl fall in love with you. Stupid. I knew it was stupid. But... when I ran an internet search for the #1 phrase, nothing came back. And that was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up on the internet meant to me that it was worth something. I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you? With who? Hello, you got cute hair. What are you doing? I turned to yell at the voice. Huh? Oh no. When did you get here? I hid my favourite magazine behind my back and tried to calm my racing heart. Even if we've known each other since we were kids, don't just come in like that. Oh my god, she's really close. I did knock. What's with this magazine? Anything interesting? It's nothing. It's not porn. I mean, I couldn't let her find out. I read porn. This was bad. What's going on? Why are you wearing a school uniform? Didn't you go home? Serika frowned. You're the one who told me to go investigate the crime scenes for our club today. Huh? That's right. Here you go, more pictures from the crime scenes. Serika took a USB memory stick out of her purse. I took it using the USB. It was really weird. I didn't know how it worked, so I just sort of, just clicked it. Oh, thanks. Can you transfer it to my computer for me while you're at it? I don't know how do computers work. Fucking hell. Sarika looked a little confused. Oh shit. That's right, you never let anyone touch a computer. Not really, you're allowed. She didn't seem to think much of it as she started to copy the data off. Okay, now's my chance. The RV was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make tea as I tried to find room in the top shelf. Okay, there's just enough room for one more magazine. They're going to fall down, aren't they? And then I heard a pshh, pshh sound like a small fart from behind me. What? Did he fart? I glanced back and saw that Serika was using the mouse with one hand and fiddling with her Gero Froggy Geroro strap with the other. This was my chance. The Gero Froggy Geroro strap was a soft vinyl cell phone strap I won at a candy contest because when I was a kid. When you push its belly, it was supposed to say Gero Gero Gero. It turned. Oh my god, my fucking words are really hard. It turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at auction, but since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Serika as a present. Serika seemed to really like it ever since she carried it with her. Which, well, that was fine, but it was old and faded, and when you pressed its belly, air leaked out of its side and made a weird noise. It used to go Gero Gero Gero, I think, but now it just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Now's my chance to hide it. Porn's going to fall down, isn't it? I jammed the magazine onto the shelf and moved some things so she couldn't see it. Want a mountain view? Nah, don't waste it. I'm leaving in a second anyway. Okay, hold on. There are quite a few files on the screen. You took a lot of pictures. Any luck? I didn't see anything new. What about you, Taku? Find anything that connects the two cases? No. I shook my head, frustrated. Oh, I see. Well, let's not get too frustrated yet. I'll see you in the club room tomorrow. Just as she was about to leave, I got an idea. Oh, Onoe. I needed to double check my information. She was, in theory, a girl. I'm just asking, but... Huh? Let's say someone asks you out. Huh? Just hypothetically, okay? What would you think if they said, I know this is extremely selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you? Is that what you were just saying? No, never mind that. What do you think? Serika thought for a second. Hey, is this person younger than me? Oh, do I have to make a choice? Huh? Since they're being so polite. That's true, come to think of it. Why was it so polite anyway? Maybe they are, I mean, never mind that. What do you think? Well, I think it's really polite, but nobody's ever asked me out, so I don't know. Anyone else? Anything else? Like, oh, how romantic? Not really, that would depend on the person, right? Grr. What's going on here, cool cat? It would depend on the person asking the question. Of course it would. Was it making me make a choice? Serika stretched out her hand. Give me 500 yen. Huh? Here, I forgot. She showed me a paper bag she was holding. I just ran it again. It gave me this. Said it was your usual. I paid him 500 yen for it. My usual? Confused, I took the bag from her. Gen's usual changed every time I talked to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? That drunk old bastard. What's your usual? Nothing. Here's 500 yen. I forced 500 yen into her hands. Ignoring her persistent questions, I led her to the door. I'll see you at school tomorrow. Huh? Thanks for the pictures, they're a big help. Fine. Reluctantly, she left my room. Whew. Damn it. Sure, this is what I always bought from Gen, but the information in the last one was no good. What the heck was a cool cat anyway? A cold cat? Is it cold because it's dead? 100 ways to secretly show your sexy side. No. I need to hide this too. But I had so many of them now I was running out of room on my top shelf. When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it, no room, huh? Huh? What was this? It was an old scrapbook about the murders that had occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I'd bought it from Gen too, come to think of it. I'd already scanned it, but I'd forgotten to throw out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have a bundle it with the rest of my collection. My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it. I quickly ran over to my PC. And I'm going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more like this, and do subscribe to the channel as I upload every day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.